Have you ever wondered why millions of hard-working Americans spend their entire lives chasing bigger paychecks, yet only a small percentage ever become truly wealthy? Every morning they wake up early, fight through traffic, work long hours, and tell themselves that success is just one promotion away. But somehow, every month ends the same way. The bills are paid, the bank account is almost empty, and the dream of financial freedom feels just as far away as it did last year. The shocking truth is that the biggest obstacle to becoming wealthy isn't a low salary, bad luck, or even inflation. It's a handful of money mistakes that most people repeat every single day without realizing they're destroying their own future. These aren't dramatic mistakes that make headlines. They're quiet habits that slowly steal thousands of dollars every year until decades have passed and there's almost nothing left to show for a lifetime of hard work. Today we're exposing the 10 biggest money mistakes keeping Americans from becoming wealthy, and every mistake on this list becomes more expensive than the one before it. But I need you to stay until the very end because the final mistake is so common that even people earning over $100,000 a year make it every single day, and it's costing them far more than they could ever imagine. Let's begin with a mistake that looks completely harmless but silently traps millions of people for life. Imagine receiving the biggest raise of your career. You celebrate with your family, upgrade your apartment, finance a newer SUV, start eating at better restaurants, and finally buy the things you've always wanted. It feels like you've made it. After all, you've worked hard, so why shouldn't you enjoy your success? But 6 months later, something strange happens. Despite earning significantly more money, your savings haven't grown at all. You're still waiting for payday, still worried about unexpected expenses, and somehow you feel just as financially stressed as before. This invisible trap is called lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the biggest reasons people never build real wealth. Every time their income increases, their expenses increase even faster. Instead of buying assets, they buy bigger monthly payments. Instead of investing more, they spend more. The frightening part is that lifestyle inflation doesn't feel irresponsible because everyone around you is doing exactly the same thing. Social media convinces you that success should look expensive, but real wealth often looks surprisingly ordinary. The people who quietly become millionaires usually aren't trying to impress strangers. They're using every raise to invest more into their 401k, Roth IRA, index funds, and long-term assets while keeping their lifestyle under control. They understand a simple truth that changes everything. Every extra dollar can either make you look rich today or help you become wealthy tomorrow, but very rarely can it do both. And if you think lifestyle inflation is the biggest financial mistake Americans make, wait until you hear what comes next, because the second mistake quietly takes money directly out of people's pockets every single month, and most of them don't even notice it's happening. Most people believe debt is the reason they're struggling financially, but debt itself isn't always the problem. The real danger is the kind of debt that quietly grows while you're busy living your life. Think about the average American who pays for groceries, vacations, electronics, and everyday purchases with a credit card, promising to pay it off later. At first, it feels convenient. The monthly payment seems small, and nothing appears to be wrong. But month after month, interest begins stacking on top of interest until a simple purchase ends up costing 2 or 3 times its original price. While you're working every day to earn money, your money is working every day to make someone else richer. That's exactly how millions of people become trapped without ever noticing. They celebrate getting a raise, only to use it to pay off debt instead of building wealth. Wealthy people understand that there are 2 completely different kinds of debt. Productive debt can help you buy assets that grow in value or generate income, while consumer debt usually finances things that lose value the moment you buy them. A brand new car starts depreciating as soon as it leaves the dealership. Expensive gadgets become outdated within a few years, and luxury purchases rarely make you richer. Yet many people continue financing a lifestyle they can't truly afford because society has convinced them that looking successful is the same as being successful. But appearances never build wealth, ownership does. Imagine 2 neighbors earning the same salary. One spends every bonus upgrading their lifestyle, while the other quietly pays off high-interest debt and invests the difference into diversified index funds every single month. 5 years later, the first person still has impressive possessions but very little financial security, while the second has a growing investment portfolio that's earning money even while they sleep. That's the difference between buying liabilities and building assets. And here's where things become even more surprising. Even people who avoid lifestyle inflation and eliminate high-interest debt often make another costly mistake that silently destroys their future. They believe saving money alone is enough to become wealthy, but what happens next explains why millions of dollars in potential wealth are lost every single year. The next mistake is one that almost everyone believes is the responsible thing to do, yet over a lifetime it can quietly cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's relying on saving instead of investing. From the time we're young, we're taught to save money, keep it safe, and avoid taking risks. While saving is essential for an emergency fund, making it your entire financial strategy is one of the biggest reasons people never build real wealth. Imagine leaving your money in a traditional savings account for 20 years while inflation keeps making everything more expensive. Every year, your cash buys a little less, even though the number in your account barely changes. Without realizing it, you're losing purchasing power simply because your money isn't growing fast enough. Wealthy people understand that money should never sit idle for long. They make their money work by investing in diversified index funds, dividend-paying stocks, ETFs, real estate, and retirement accounts like a 401k or Roth IRA. They know the true secret isn't finding the perfect investment. It's giving compound interest enough time to work its magic. Imagine investing just a few $100s every month over several decades. At first, the growth seems almost invisible, and many people quit because they think it's not working. But then something incredible happens. The returns begin earning returns of their own, and the portfolio starts growing faster than ever before. That's why time is far more valuable than trying to perfectly time the market. The people who become financially independent aren't necessarily investment experts. They're simply patient enough to let compounding do what it has done for generations. Unfortunately, most Americans wait too long. They tell themselves they'll start investing after the next raise, after buying a house, or after paying off every bill. Years pass, opportunities disappear, and the greatest financial advantage anyone can have, time, is gone forever. But even if you invest consistently and avoid every mistake we've talked about so far, there's still one hidden habit